Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Morning Momentum. If you guys don't know who I am, it's the first time you're tuning in. My name is Matt Beard. I am the business owner for a real estate investing company here in Phoenix, Arizona. We buy properties all across the country, as well as a virtual staffing company, vahub.com. So if you're trying to scale your business, you need a virtual assistant. You need to start leveraging your time. Go to vahub.com, book your discovery call, and see if we could be a good fit. So this week, guys, we've been talking about it since Monday. This is part three of real estate marketing. Doesn't matter if you're a realtor or a real estate investor. We're going to be talking about marketing techniques, stuff that we use in our personal business to get our leads. I think a lot is always talked about the final deal, but how do you find those deals? Like, how do we find that person? How do we find motivated sellers? That's the key, right? It's not just building a buyer's list or having people to sell your deals to. If you're a real estate investor, you got to find the actual deal, right? So today we're going to be talking about SMS. Now, if you're a realtor, there's a good chance that you don't do SMS. But for real estate investing, it is a very, very, very powerful tool. Man, I'm looking at our numbers here from our marketing report. Yesterday, we broke down cold calling. We have a team right around 35 virtual assistants. That number is always changing because we're, obviously releasing the bottom performers, bringing in new people. So that number fluctuates anywhere from 30, 35, 40, 45, depending. And we spend right around $20,000 a month on just virtual assistant help. And actually, it's probably going to be closer to 25,000 this month. But with that being said, I always like to see what's working the best, right? So where are we spending our money? That is like the most well spent. So if you guys are just joining in, we're talking about marketing, what's working in our business, and hopefully you can draw some and start making some decisions and determinations depending on what market you are personally in. So in our real estate investing business, our cold calling, we broke down yesterday, Phoenix and Arizona, like we're our physical location. We love buying properties here because we'll take them down, fix and flip. But the challenge is cold calling doesn't work that well in saturated markets like Phoenix. We see the same thing happening in most markets in California. We see the same thing happening in Las Vegas. Not saying that it doesn't work. It just takes a lot more money to get that deal than what it would be in some of these smaller markets. So that's important to know, especially if you're trying to figure out if you're on a limited budget and you're where can you spend your marketing dollars the most effectively. I would not be cold calling in those really hot markets. Instead, you should be sending a bunch of texts, right? So let's look at what that actually looks like. So yesterday we had talked about Florida. Florida, like basically killing anything that we do in any of the other markets. Florida is great for cold calling, depending on where you're actually calling. Now, if you're calling in Miami, that might be a little different. But just Florida as a whole, we do really well in the state of Florida. We do really well in the state of Texas. We do really well in the state of Indiana. We do really well in the state of Georgia, North Carolina. Arizona is actually the least. Like we have the least amount of results from cold calling in Arizona. Not to say like we get deals here, but it just again it costs us more money. So SMS is actually flip, right? We send a lot of text. So we send right around 15,000 texts a day, right? And it's as simple as, hey, we introduce ourselves via text and just trying to find folks who may be interested in selling their property. And the greatest thing about text is so simple, right? We all look at text. How many of you guys actually answer the phone of a random number? Like I normally do not. I'll just like either forward it to I'll forward it to like just a regular text message or say, hey, can I call you later? Whatever. I don't answer a random number, but texting is really, really, really great. And I've been talking about this probably for at least the last 3 months of if you're not taking advantage of text, if you're not doing the best you can, like you should be doing the most on text before you even start cold calling. You should be texting because we don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know how long the text is going to be here. So if you're not texting, number one, start doing it. And if you are texting, double it, triple it. You should be sending as much as you possibly can. Because I know right now there's going to be a podcast in a year or 2 years where it's like, man, I really wish I would have texted more when I could, right? Because the restrictions are just going to get more and more strict. Like we live in a day and age where it's just so easy to reach these homeowners. It's so simple to get in touch with someone. Like we're gonna look back, like these were the golden times. Like it was so simple, and it's only gonna get harder and harder and harder to reach our prospects. Like you're gonna have to start spending more and more money on marketing to get that $20,000 deal, that $15,000 deal. the marketing cost is going to eventually get to $7,500, $10,000 for just finding one deal. So take advantage of this, because what we're seeing, I'm just looking at a report. That's why I'm looking at the screen here. Our SMS looks like 55.9% of our leads came from Arizona SMS. So like Arizona is the worst at cold calling, but majority of our leads um, from the SMS particular campaign came from Arizona. So just it's crazy how that flip flops. So the cold call itself didn't work that well, but the SMS worked really, really well, because number one, we can text more people. And our process is just like this, guys. So we send out a text and someone says, yes, I'm interested in selling. I want X amount of money. Whatever that response is, we want to get them to a phone call as soon as possible. So it's advantageous for you to either get good on the phones or get a VA that's good that can respond to text and then take that phone call, right? That is the process, because what we found was when we didn't do it like this, um, our conversions went down like crazy. We were just expecting strangers to text us. We were just expecting strangers to keep that conversation going. We'd ask too many questions and all of a sudden they go dark, right? Oh, what's the condition of the property? And then, whatever, because typically when someone responds to the text, we caught them at the right time in the right moment. We were like the 500th text they got, but they feel like they should respond to us. If we start asking too many questions, they're just going to stop responding. So when it comes to SMS marketing, guys, if you're not doing it, or if you're not doing this process, you should be doing this, pushing it to a phone call as soon as possible. Get it off the text, get it on the phone as soon as you can, so you can further vet it. I know on a typical week, we'll take right around 120 leads from text and drop it to our cold callers just in Arizona. So that's 120 people who said that they wanted X amount of money, and we pushed that to a cold caller. So we know SMS works really well. On that cold call, we further vet it to make sure this is someone who's really interested in selling, not just a tire kicker. And it helps the back end process, because so many times, I'm sure some of you guys who are watching this right now, or maybe on record, you felt this before, right? You felt like you're getting these leads from text and it's too good to be true, or this person said they're interested. You call them, no, there's no one here by that name. There's no one here by blah, 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 right? That should still be done by a VA. That should still be done by a cold caller. Only push the ones that have been vetted. That's why we get them on the phone too. So SMS, very, very, very powerful, guys. If you're watching right now and you're not doing SMS, please start doing SMS. There's all kind of tools. It doesn't really matter which one you do, right? You can go to Batch for texting. Challenge with Batch is they're TCPA compliant, right? So they're gonna go ahead and scrub out all your data. They're gonna scrub out all the litigators. They're gonna scrub out anyone who in the past who said they weren't interested, like all these things, and you're gonna be left with not that many people to text. But it's a very, very powerful platform. It's click per text. You can use Batch. We certainly have, and we still do on a smaller scale. You got Lead Sherpa, you have Launch Control, you have Roar, you have all of these things. Now, the challenge with Roar, I love Roar because it's a set it and kind of just forget it, right? It'll just consistently send the text. Challenge is it's not compliant. So you just have to be okay if you're texting on that platform and all of a sudden you get a letter in the mail saying, hey, why'd you text me for? You owe me $1,000 because I'm on the national do not call list, right? So just be prepared for that if you use a non-TCPA compliant platform. The purpose why a lot of folks use Batch is because they want to mitigate their risk. So either way, doesn't matter what platform you use, pick one and start using it, because from what we're seeing on our marketing, SMS is amazing. And I mean, my goal is like, if we're sending 15,000 a day, I want to be sending 20,000. I want to be sending 25,000. I don't want to look back in a year and a half and wish that I would have spent more money on this particular marketing mode, because it's so cheap, right? Even at a penny per text is so cheap to get in touch with someone in comparison to cold calling or anything else. It takes manpower, takes effort, or mailers is super expensive, or radio ads and hoping people call you. Texting is like the cheapest form of outbound marketing that is going to elicit a response from your dream client, right? So please, 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 if you're watching this right now, or if you're watching this on record, hopefully it's not too late. You're doing texting and you're doing as much as you possibly can. If you need any kind of text script, guys, please email me. As always, if you don't have my email, it's mattbeard@vahub.com. Okay. So you can email me and I will give you the text script. If you don't have the cold calling script, I got one of those for you too. Be happy to give you anything that you may need that's going to help your business be successful. Yeah, and guys, like we're going live here every single morning, so these are made to be shorter lives, giving you guys some value for the day, hoping you're getting some momentum going, start taking action on these things that we're talking about, and learn from our mistakes, learn from the things that we're doing in our business at scale, so you can start implementing it within your organization. So please like this video if you got some value, share it with some friends and family. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning. We're going to be breaking down another mode of marketing. So this whole week, we're just talking about marketing, other little tips and tricks that I recommend that you guys start implementing in your business. And if you haven't, subscribe to my YouTube channel, just Matthew Beard. I think it's the links in the description. Please go over and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful hump day. It is Wednesday. Today we have a meetup. So if you're in Phoenix, come to the meetup. I believe it's in Phoenix. I don't know. Check out our Instagram. I'll get the actual address. But if you guys are in Phoenix, please come to our meetup. We're going to have food. We're going to be talking about how we got the deal, the renovation cost, and the whole process of acquiring the property for the fix and flip. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I hope I see you guys there, and I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. We'll see you later.